The world is vast, untamed, and filled with wonders you've never seen before. Imagine stepping into a landscape so ancient, so primal, that it seems to pulse with life. The air is thick with the scent of wild herbs, and the sky is a deep shade of blue stretching endlessly above. You find yourself standing at the edge of a great forest, its trees towering overhead like guardians of this untold world. The ground beneath your feet is rough and uneven, a mix of soft earth and jagged stones, each step taking you further into the heart of something long forgotten. In this world there are no roads, no settlements, no fields of crops stretching out to the horizon. There's only nature, untouched, unshaped by human hands. The people who lived here, the earliest humans, did not have tools like we do today. There are no metal blades, no fire-breathing stoves. The only things they had were their wits, their hands, and the raw earth beneath them. This was a time before cooking, a time before fire was tamed, a time when food was not a simple thing. It was a challenge, it was an adventure. Now picture yourself walking alongside these ancient humans. They move with purpose, gliding silently through the underbrush, their eyes sharp, always searching. Every day is a new challenge, a new adventure. They are explorers, not of foreign lands, but of the very world they inhabit. To survive here, they must understand it in ways we cannot even begin to comprehend. The hunt is never guaranteed, and the fruits of the earth do not always ripen when expected. Survival means constantly adapting to the land, to the seasons, to the cycles of life that govern everything around them. The diet of these early humans was a mosaic of the land itself, fruits from the trees, roots pulled from the earth, and the occasional feast from the hunt. But the process of survival in this untamed world was far from simple. Imagine the rush of adrenaline as you spot a herd of wild animals in the distance. You don't have the luxury of a bow or arrows. Instead, your tools are primitive, sharp rocks and bones, carefully fashioned into instruments that can help you survive. And yet, it's not just about hunting. It's about what you can find, what you can gather, what you can make use of. The forest offers its bounty in ways that can be as tough as they are rewarding. Roots, rich with nutrients buried deep beneath the surface, must be unearthed with great effort. These are foods that require patience and strength, as well as a deep understanding of the earth's rhythms. Some plants are easy to find, their fruits hanging from trees within reach, while others require great skill and knowledge to locate and prepare. As you crouch low to the ground, pulling a tuber from the soil, you can almost feel the connection to the people who lived here long before you. They knew this land intimately, understood how to read its signs, and learned how to live with it, not against it. The hunt, too, is a different kind of challenge. It's not about chasing after animals as we might imagine today. There are no easy solutions. The animals you seek are swift, strong, and often elusive. To survive, these early humans had to develop tools, learn to use stones as weapons, sharpened to perfection. They could not afford to make mistakes. Every decision was critical, each choice determining the difference between success and failure. But the food they gathered and hunted didn't come easily. The days were long, the efforts exhausting, and yet in all this there was a rhythm to life, a flow. There was no rush, no pressure to build cities, to conquer lands. Their life was in the moment, in each meal shared around a fire that hadn't yet been mastered. They sat beneath the stars, warmed by the flickering glow of a campfire, cooking not with flames, but with the raw essence of the earth. There were no ovens, no stoves, just the earth beneath their feet and the sky above them. But this world wasn't just about food, it was about survival itself. The elements could be unforgiving. Winters were cold and the hunt was often hard. Imagine the chill in the air as the seasons shift, turning the once lush forests into barren landscapes. The food you've gathered must last, must be preserved for the colder months. In this world, every meal, every bit of nourishment is earned, and it's never certain. The land may provide, but it can also take away just as quickly. So you begin to understand the dance of survival, how the early humans must have learned to adapt, how their lives were shaped by the very land they walked upon. They weren't just surviving, they were explorers of a world without fire, a world where food was raw and unyielding, a world that demanded everything from them. And yet, this was a time when the earth was at its most pure, its most alive. Now, let's shift focus. What would life have been like for these humans if they never discovered cooking, if they never tamed fire? Would they still have built societies? Could they have ever settled in one place? Or would they have remained nomadic, always following the seasons, always living in search of food? Let's imagine a world where the discovery of fire and cooking never happened. Without the ability to cook food, life would have been drastically different. The landscape would have remained the same, a wild, untamed place untouched by agriculture. Would these humans still have thrived? Would they have created complex social structures, built cities, or developed trade routes? Perhaps they would have stayed in small, mobile groups, always on the move, forever connected to the land. The absence of cooking would have shaped everything. Without the ability to cook food, their diet would have remained limited to what the earth provided in its raw state. Their lives would have been governed by the natural cycles, moving with the seasons, gathering what they could, and relying on their knowledge of the land to sustain them. Would their brains have developed differently without the addition of cooked food? Would they have evolved differently, or would they have remained more animal-like, focused solely on survival? As you ponder these questions, consider the societies that did discover cooking. With fire came the ability to make food more digestible, more varied, and perhaps most importantly safer. Cooking allowed people to stay in one place, to settle, to build cities. It changed the way humans interacted with the world. But imagine for a moment that none of that ever happened. What kind of world would they have built? In this imagined world, the human connection to nature would have been even deeper. There would be no cities, no stone buildings or roads. People would still live in harmony with the land, finding shelter wherever they could, building small encampments that moved with the seasons. The world would have been an adventure, always in flux, always changing. And the food they ate would have been the heart of their survival, their connection to the earth, their way of life, all wrapped up in the simple act of foraging, hunting, and gathering. Now, breathe deeply and reflect on this world, one where survival depended on the raw gifts of the land, one where food was never guaranteed, and yet the people thrived. In this world, survival was an ongoing adventure, a daily exploration of nature's rhythms, its challenges, and its rewards. The people were adventurers, not by choice, but by necessity. And in this adventure, they found life, not just through the food they ate, but through the experience of living fully in the moment, attuned to the world around them. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself in this world, walking alongside these early humans. The challenges they faced were real, but their strength, their knowledge, and their connection to the earth made them resilient. They did not just survive, they lived deeply and fully in the most primal sense. and through their survival they created a legacy that still echoes through the ages. This approach integrates factual history, survival themes, and a relaxed narrative without drifting into too much speculative imagination. Let me know if this aligns better with your vision. I can continue refining and expanding from here, keeping the same balance of adventure, survival, and calm storytelling. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, the first chill of evening settles into the air. You feel it on your skin, a reminder that the world, though full of life, is also harsh and unforgiving. The wind picks up slightly, rustling through the trees, carrying with it the scent of distant rain. A change in the air. The shadows grow longer, and the dark outlines of the landscape become more pronounced, while the last warm hues of daylight slowly fade away. The group you are with continues walking, their movements fluid and purposeful. The forest is quieter now, but the night brings with it its own kind of energy, something primal, something alive. Every rustle in the undergrowth is a potential meal or a threat, and the humans around you are attuned to every sound, every movement. There's no need for words. The rhythm of life here is understood. It's a dance that has been perfected over millennia, a dance between humans and a world that feeds them, a delicate balance between what is sought and what is given. As you walk deeper into the wilderness, the forest becomes even denser, and the smell of damp earth grows stronger. The ground is uneven, the soil soft beneath your feet. Your footsteps make no sound. Years of practice have taught you how to move silently, how to blend into the environment. It's a survival skill, one that has been passed down from your ancestors, who once lived in much harsher times, in lands where danger was ever present. In the distance you spot the faint silhouette of a large tree. It's different from the others around it, taller, broader, with dark, glossy leaves that seem to shimmer in the dim light. There's something familiar about it, something that calls to mind memories of long-forgotten stories, tales of the tree that offered shelter and sustenance when nothing else could. You move toward it, your group following silently, knowing instinctively that it is time to rest. You reach the tree, its massive trunk rising high above you, its branches stretching wide like arms, reaching out to embrace the darkening sky. Beneath the tree, the ground is covered in thick, soft moss. It feels cool under your bare feet, like a gentle cushion, welcoming you to pause, to rest. The air around the tree is different, fresher, cooler, imbued with the scent of rich, loamy soil and the faint fragrance of hidden flowers. You take a deep breath, allowing the calming scent to fill your lungs. As your group settles down, there is no need for much preparation. The food they've gathered today will be shared, but it's not the centerpiece of the evening. This is a time for quiet reflection, for being present in the moment. The fire isn't yet lit, but that's all right. You've learned to live without it, to adapt to the rhythms of the earth. There are no cooking pots, no stoves. The meal tonight will be simple, raw, untouched by fire, and that is enough. The food comes from the land, what can be eaten in its purest form, what nature provides in its unaltered state. You reach for a handful of berries, plucked earlier in the day. They are small, their skin delicate and cool to the touch, their sweetness bursting in your mouth as you chew. It's the taste of survival, the taste of the land's generosity. A few others around you begin to do the same, plucking small handfuls of fruit from their packs, each bite a reminder of the connection they share with this world. But even as You enjoy the raw food, the hunger never truly goes away. It lingers in the background of your mind, a constant companion. In this world, food is never guaranteed, and the effort it takes to gather it, to hunt it, to sustain yourself, is ever present. You glance to your side where one of the older members of the group is carefully chewing a root, its texture tough, fibrous, and earthy. It's not the most pleasant of meals, but it is filling. Another reminder that survival comes with sacrifices. The root, unearthed from deep within the earth, has been dug up and washed clean, its bitterness offset by the small handfuls of sweet berries you've also gathered. It's a simple meal, but a necessary one. As you eat, your senses stay alert. The world is shifting, changing with the fading light. The chirps of insects grow louder, blending with the calls of nocturnal creatures beginning their night hunts. The air becomes heavier, cooler, as the forest moves toward the quiet stillness of night. You can hear the faint rustle of leaves high above you as small creatures stir in the trees. The sound of the wind in the branches becomes more pronounced, an ever-present hum that echoes through the night. The sky, now nearly black, stretches overhead, a deep canvas filled with stars. The night feels infinite, boundless, filled with mystery and untold stories. You lean back against the massive trunk of the tree, letting your muscles relax, your mind unwinding. The stars above are a reminder of how small you are, how fleeting your existence in the grand timeline of the earth. But for now, here, in this moment, you are part of something much larger, a piece of the ever-turning wheel of life. The fire is lit now, a small flickering flame that casts warm light across the faces of your group. It crackles softly, sending small sparks into the air. The warmth it provides is a comfort, but not something you rely on. It's more of a companion tonight, an ally in the dark. You watch the flames dance, their glow casting shifting shadows across the ground. The sound of the crackling wood filling the air. The flames are mesmerizing, hypnotic in their rhythm. You sit in silence for a while, listening to the sounds of the forest around you, to the gentle crackle of the fire, to the quiet breathing of your companions. There's no need for conversation. In this world, words are often unnecessary. The rhythm of life is understood through actions, through shared moments of quiet, through the unspoken understanding that you are all in this together. The night stretches on. The fire burns low, its embers glowing softly. The sounds of the forest continue, undisturbed, as the wind shifts, carrying the promise of dawn on its cool breeze. But for now you sit in the quiet, a small part of this vast, untamed world. You're safe, for now, within the embrace of the earth and the shelter of the great tree. And as you close your eyes, the flickering firelight casting soft shadows on your face, you feel a sense of connection, not just to the people around you, but to the land itself. This is the world before cooking, before the mastery of fire. This is survival in its purest form. The night deepens, and the air grows cooler still. The fire crackles softly in front of you, casting an amber glow across the darkened forest. Its warmth is a welcome contrast to the chill creeping in from the distant mountains. The quiet rustling of the wind in the trees seems to harmonize with the low murmur of the group. Voices not raised in conversation, but simply existing in the same space, sharing in the presence of the night. You glance at the faces around the fire, their expressions softened by the flickering light. They are tired but not weary, content in a way that only comes from having lived fully in the moment, from being in tune with the world around you. The fire, now reduced to a cluster of glowing embers, radiates a soft, constant heat. its warmth the only comfort against the cold. The smell of burning wood fills the air, adding an earthy richness to the night. You can hear the occasional snap of a twig, the sound sharp and distinct, a reminder of how alive the forest still is, even as it settles into slumber. Beyond the circle of light, the forest is dark, an impenetrable shadow where every movement is a mystery. Yet there is no fear. You are part of the land, connected to it in a way that is both instinctual and deeply learned. The sounds of the wild, rustling leaves, distant animal calls are familiar, part of the constant hum of nature. It is in these moments of quiet that you feel most at peace. The flicker of the fire, the whisper of the wind, the soft crackle of the embers, it all blends into a rhythm that matches your own breathing. One of the older members of the group stands up, moving with practiced ease. He's tall and weathered, his face marked by the years spent living in this world of raw simplicity. His movements are deliberate, steady, as he approaches the edge of the camp, his eyes scanning the darkness for any signs of movement. His hands are calloused, worn from years of working with the earth, gathering food, building shelters, and surviving in this wild place. He pauses, sensing something in the air. The group watches him silently, knowing that any shift in his demeanor is a signal. Without a word, he motions toward the woods, his fingers gesturing toward the distant trees. It's time to move again. The rhythm of life here is never still. Even in the quiet of the night, there is always a need to stay alert, to be prepared. Whether it's for the hunt, the gathering of food, or simply the next challenge nature might present, the group stands ready. You rise, stretching your legs as the weight of the long day begins to settle into your muscles. The soft glow of the fire fades behind you as you step into the deeper darkness of the forest. The air is thick with the scent of earth and wet leaves, the ground beneath your feet soft and yielding. You walk quietly, instinctively moving as your ancestors did, using the sound of the wind in the trees as your guide. Your senses are heightened, attuned to every rustle, every crackle in the underbrush. The deeper you move into the forest, the more alive it feels. There's a kind of ancient energy here, something old and untamed. The world around you is full of promise, full of potential, but also danger. The forest, with its dense thickets and towering trees, hides many secrets, some benign, some not. But this world, this raw world, is where survival is forged. It is in the rhythm of the hunt, in the patience of the gatherer, in the wisdom passed down from one generation to the next. As you move through the trees, you come upon a clearing, a space where the moonlight filters down through the branches, casting long shadows across the ground. The air feels different here, still and calm. There's a quiet energy in this place, a peace that seems to settle into your bones. You stand still for a moment, listening to the faint hum of life around you. The distant call of a night bird, the rustle of insects, the soft crackling of dry leaves underfoot. In the distance you spot the faint outlines of animals, herds of grazing creatures moving in slow, deliberate steps. The hunt is always unpredictable, but tonight perhaps fortune is on your side. The group moves forward, each step taken with care, each member of the group attuned to the rhythms of the wild. The animals ahead are unaware of your presence, focused on the simple act of grazing, moving in a world of their own. It's a quiet, peaceful existence for them, just as it is for you in this moment. The world, though wild and full of challenges, also offers moments of peace, of stillness, of quiet observation. The first light of dawn is still a distant promise, but the air shifts slightly, a subtle hint of the coming day. You feel the coolness of the night still lingering in the atmosphere, but the warmth of the fire now seems a distant memory. The sounds of the forest, the whispers of the wind through the trees, all blend into a kind of symphony, a reminder that this world, though full of danger and struggle, is also full of beauty. There is a calmness in it, an inherent peace that comes from living in tune with the land. You turn to face the group, whose silent movements have melded into one steady, practiced rhythm. It's not just survival, it's a kind of communion with the world, a shared understanding that everything in this world is connected, that each day is both a gift and a challenge. There is no rushing here. There is only the moment, the next step, the next breath. The hunt, the gathering, the simple act of moving through the world becomes a meditation, a rhythm that has been passed down for countless generations, and in that rhythm you find peace. The morning begins to creep over the horizon, the first soft light breaking through the trees. The night creatures retreat to their dens, and the day's animals begin to stir. The hunt continues, but the focus shifts from the urgency of the night to the possibilities of the day. The landscape, still bathed in the soft hues of early morning, begins to take on a new character. The warmth of the sun, though gentle, brings with it a different kind of energy. The group continues its quiet pursuit, each member moving as one, each part of this living world playing its role. The forest, though vast and seemingly endless, is also familiar. You know its pathways, its hidden corners, its quiet spaces where the animals roam and the plants grow in abundance. It is a world that you have learned to understand, to navigate with patience and precision. You have learned how to find food, how to find shelter, how to read the signs of the seasons and the rhythms of life. This is the world of early humans, raw, unrefined, but also deeply connected to the land. And as the day unfolds around you, the reality of survival becomes clearer. There are no shortcuts, no easy answers. Everything is earned. The food you gather, the shelter you build, the community you protect, it all requires effort, determination, and an unyielding connection to the earth beneath your feet. As you move forward, stepping carefully through the underbrush, you're reminded that this world, despite its challenges, is a world of possibility, a world where humans, long before the control of fire and the mastery of cooking, learn to survive by understanding the land, by listening to its rhythms, and by moving with it, not against it. The adventure of survival was not just in the hunt or the gathering of food. It was in the very way people lived, in the way they adapted, in the way they became one with the world around them. And so, as the sun climbs higher, as the day's journey continues, you remain attuned to the land, your movement steady, your senses sharp. The adventure is far from over. It is only just beginning. The world, untamed and full of promise, continues to unfold before you. As the sun climbs higher, casting long golden beams through the canopy, the temperature begins to rise, the warmth of the daylight spreading over the forest floor. The air is filled with the rich scent of damp earth and the faint aroma of wild flowers, their petals still holding the coolness of the night. You move deeper into the forest, stepping over tangled roots and through dense underbrush. Each footstep is measured, careful. The forest floor is uneven but familiar. The rhythm of your movement, the pulse of the land, is as natural as breathing. The forest is alive with sound, the chirp of insects, the distant call of a bird, the rustle of small creatures in the bushes. The wind shifts, carrying with it the fragrance of wet moss, and you pause, taking it all in. You are not just walking through a forest. You are walking through the history of human existence, a time when survival was an art that required patience, wisdom, and above all, an intimate connection to the earth. Ahead, you spot a narrow path, a small game trail, barely visible through the dense foliage. You know this trail well. It has been used by countless creatures before you, deer, wild boar, and smaller game, all of them following the same path through the underbrush. Your group follows silently, moving in unison, a single entity, each person as attuned to the forest as the next. There is no need for words, your movements speak for themselves. You follow the trail carefully, keeping an eye on the shifting light, watching for any signs of movement, any hint that the hunt might soon begin. The path leads you to a clearing, a small patch of open ground where the grass grows tall, wild, and untamed. In the centre of the clearing, a small stream trickles over rocks, its gentle flow adding a soothing background to the otherwise quiet world. You pause at the edge of the clearing, scanning the area. The group remains still, waiting for the right moment, the right signal. A breeze stirs the tall grass, and you catch the faintest hint of movement. An animal, its silhouette barely visible among the swaying blades. It's large, its form dark against the pale sky. You move forward slowly, each step taken with the utmost care. Every moment counts now. Your eyes are fixed on the creature, watching its every movement, noting its position, the way it shifts through the clearing. The animal is unaware of your presence, grazing peacefully by the edge of the stream. It is calm, unhurried, unaware of the hunters that surround it. You can feel the tension in the air, the anticipation that pulses through the group, each person poised for the action that is about to unfold. There is no rush. The hunt is a slow process, an intricate dance between predator and prey, between survival and surrender. You know that a single mistake could ruin everything, so you move with precision, your every action calculated. One of your companions moves first, drawing a stone tool from their side, a sharp, jagged rock, honed over time, designed for a purpose. It's a weapon, simple yet effective, and it has been passed down through generations. The stone tool is a testament to the ingenuity of your people, a reflection of their ability to adapt and survive. With a steady hand, your companion begins to move forward, their body low to the ground, blending into the landscape. The animal shifts slightly, its attention elsewhere, and you hold your breath, waiting. Time seems to slow as you watch the moment unfold, the hunter's movements fluid and precise, a part of the forest, a part of the hunt. The tension builds as your companion closes in, the distance between them and the animal growing smaller with each step. You can feel the heartbeats of everyone in your group, the steady rhythm of breath in sync with the world around you. Then, with a quick movement, the hunt begins. The animal bolts, its instincts telling it to flee, but it's already too late. The hunter is swift, their stone tool thrust forward with practiced precision. The animal's flight is short-lived, and within moments it is brought down. The hunt, though brief, is successful, a moment of triumph in the ongoing struggle for survival. The group gathers around, their movements calm but purposeful. There is no celebration, no cheers. This is not a victory, but a necessity. The animal is gutted, its meat carefully separated and prepared. Every part is used. Every piece has a purpose. You're reminded again of the balance of this world, how survival requires a deep respect for what is taken and a commitment to use everything that is provided. There is no waste, no excess. Everything is accounted for. As the meat is prepared, the group gathers once more around the fire, its light dancing and flickering against the trees. The air is filled with the smell of the freshly slaughtered animal, a rich, earthy scent that blends with the wood smoke and the cool evening air. The forest feels alive around you, full of energy and promise. The hunt may be over, but the land continues to provide, always shifting, always changing. You sit in silence, your focus on the task at hand. The meat is tough, raw, but it is nourishing. The act of eating is simple, and yet in this moment it is everything. It is the essence of life, the direct connection between you and the world that sustains you. You eat with the group, sharing in the fruits of the hunt, each bite a reminder of how far humanity has come, and yet how deeply connected we remain to the land. As the night deepens, the fire burns low. The shadows around you grow longer, and the sound of the forest shifts once again. The crackling of the fire is softer now, the ember glow casting a faint light over the gathering. You can feel the weight of the earth beneath you, the steady pulse of the forest, the ancient rhythm of life that has persisted through millennia. It is a rhythm that binds you to everything around you, a bond that connects you not just to your companions, but to all who have come before you, who have survived in this untamed world. You lean back against a nearby tree, your body relaxed but alert. The night is peaceful, yet it carries with it the weight of survival. The sounds of the forest fill the air, the calls of distant animals, the rustling of leaves in the breeze. It is a world of contradictions, where peace and danger coexist, where survival is a constant, ongoing challenge. Yet in this moment, there is a stillness, a calm that comes with the certainty that, for now, you are safe. The stars above are brilliant, scattered across the black sky like jewels. They feel close here, as though you could reach up and touch them. It is a reminder of how small you are in the grand scheme of the universe, yet how connected you are to the land, to the earth, to the stars themselves. Your ancestors, too, looked up at these stars, sought comfort in their light, and drew strength from the very same world that surrounds you now. For a brief moment, you feel a deep sense of gratitude, not for the fire, not for the meat, but for the connection to this world. A world that, though wild and unpredictable, offers everything you need to survive. You are part of it, as much as the trees, the animals, the stars above. This is a world that teaches you resilience, patience, and above all, the art of survival. And in that survival, there is a deep peace. The night stretches on, and the fire slowly burns down to its last embers. The group settles into their places, ready for sleep, the quiet of the forest wrapping around them like a blanket. The hunt has ended, but the adventure continues. The rhythm of life, steady and constant, will begin again with the rising sun. The earth will continue to provide, and humanity will continue to adapt. But for now, in this moment, there is rest, there is peace, and in the quiet of the night you close your eyes, knowing that tomorrow the adventure will start anew. The morning arrives quietly, as it always does, with the first faint light creeping through the canopy, casting a soft glow over the sleeping forms of the group. The forest is still, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and fresh foliage. There is a sense of peace in the early hours, a momentary stillness before the day's challenges begin. The soft chirping of birds in the distance breaks the silence, followed by the faint rustling of leaves as small creatures stir in the underbrush. The sounds of the forest, though familiar, never seem to grow old. They are a constant, like the heartbeat of the earth itself, pulsing with life. As the sun rises higher, its warmth spreads across the land, casting long shadows and bathing the forest in golden light. The world seems to wake up with the sun, every plant, every animal, every breath of wind. The warmth of the day is a welcome contrast to the coolness of the night. You stretch your limbs, feeling the soft pull of your muscles as you rise from your resting place, the earth beneath you cool and solid. Your senses are awake now, sharp and alert. The hunt will begin again soon, but for now there is time to prepare, to focus, to move with purpose. The group begins to stir, one by one, each person rising from their makeshift resting spots, shaking off the remnants of sleep. The movements are slow, deliberate, as they begin to gather their tools and prepare for the day ahead. There is no rush, no urgency. Life here moves in its own rhythm, a pace dictated by the land, by the seasons, by the necessity of survival. The world may be vast, but it is also small in its simplicity. Everything you need to survive is here, in the forest, on the land. Your body is attuned to it, your senses honed by years of living in its embrace. The sounds of the forest are louder now, more pronounced as the group begins to move together, walking in the same slow, practiced rhythm. You can hear the crunch of leaves underfoot, the rustle of branches as they pass through the undergrowth. The air is fresh, tinged with the earthy scent of moss and damp leaves. The wind shifts slightly, carrying the distant sound of water, an indication that there's a stream or river nearby. The forest is full of hidden paths, of secret corners that only the most attuned can navigate. It's a world of both discovery and familiarity, a place that offers everything but never makes it easy. As you move deeper into the forest, the landscape begins to change. The trees grow thicker here, their trunks, taller and more imposing, their roots sprawling out in all directions like ancient fingers grasping at the earth. The canopy above is dense, blocking out much of the sun's light, casting the forest floor in dappled shadows. The air feels cooler here, shaded from the midday sun. You feel a sense of purpose settle over you. The hunt is near. The time for gathering has passed. Now it's time to find your prey. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with the cool, fresh air. The scent of wet leaves and moss is strong now, and as you walk, you notice the subtle changes in the world around you. The forest is waking up, and so are you. There is no hesitation in your step. Your body is tuned to this land, to the hunt, to the rhythms of survival. You know how to find what you need. You know how to read the signs of the forest, the subtle movements of the animals, the tracks they leave behind in the soil. The rest of the group spreads out, each member moving silently, their movements as fluid as the natural world around them. You remain alert, your eyes scanning the ground for signs of movement, your ears attuned to the sounds of the forest. The wind shifts again, carrying with it the scent of something familiar but hard to place. Your senses sharpen. There is life in the forest, and somewhere, not too far from where you stand, there is prey. The forest quiets for a moment. The wind dies down, and even the birds seem to hold their breath. It's as if the forest itself is waiting, sensing the shift in the air. Then, in the distance, you hear it, the sound of hooves on the soft earth, the unmistakable rhythm of an animal moving through the underbrush. You freeze, your heart quickening just a fraction. The hunt has begun. You signal to your companions, a single hand gesture that is understood without a word. They spread out, each taking a position, closing in on the target. You move forward, your feet light on the ground, your body instinctively in tune with the forest's rhythm. The sound of hooves grows louder, closer now. You know the animal is within range. Every step you take is calculated, deliberate. There is no room for error in the hunt. Every action counts. The clearing ahead opens up, and there, in the distance, you spot the animal. It's a deer, large and strong, grazing peacefully in a patch of grass. Its ears flick at every sound, its head low as it feeds, unaware of the hunters closing in on it. The moment stretches, the air thick with tension. Your body is ready, poised for the next movement. You know your role, as does everyone around you. The hunt is a dance, one that has been practiced countless times, one that requires patience, precision, and unity. With a nod, the signal is given, and the chase begins. The group moves as one, a fluid motion of hunters and prey. The deer's head snaps up, its instincts kicking in as it senses danger. It bolts, leaping over the grass with powerful strides, its hooves pounding the earth in a frantic escape. But it's too late. The hunters are faster, their movements synchronized, closing in on the animal with each passing second. The chase is exhilarating, the adrenaline coursing through your veins as you run, moving with the wind, your feet barely touching the ground. The forest is a blur of green and brown as you push forward, focused solely on the task at hand. The deer's path is erratic, twisting and turning, but it's no match for the coordination of the hunters. The animal's flight is short-lived, its panic growing as the group surrounds it. The final strike is swift. The deer is brought down with a precise blow. There is no celebration, no triumph. The hunt is a means to an end, and the work is far from over. The animal is gutted, its body carefully processed with the same stone tools used for countless generations. Every part is valuable, every piece has its use. You move with practiced efficiency, knowing exactly what to do, how to extract the meat, how to preserve it for later. Nothing is wasted, nothing is forgotten. The group gathers around, their faces stoic, focused on the task at hand. There is no room for error, no time for hesitation. The animal's body is stripped of its meat, its skin, its bones, all part of the process, all part of the survival cycle. The fire is kindled once again, small flames licking the air, ready to cook the meat, though it will remain raw, still untouched by fire. The ritual of the hunt has concluded, but the work continues. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the work continues. The meat is carefully prepared, the bones set aside, and the group moves on, already thinking of the next challenge the day will bring. The forest, though full of life, is unforgiving. Each moment is a reminder that survival is not guaranteed. It is earned through sweat, through effort, and through an unwavering connection to the land. And so, the cycle continues. The earth provides, and the hunters gather. The land shifts with the seasons, and you move with it, adapting, surviving, living. In this world before cooking, before the mastery of fire, life is raw, unrefined, but deeply connected. It is a world of constant adventure, of endless exploration, where each day is a new challenge, and each meal is a reminder of the strength and resilience required to survive. The sound of the forest fills your ears as you move away from the clearing, your senses alive, alert. The rawness of the hunt still lingers in your blood a sharp, primal thrill that settles into your bones. The meat, fresh and rich, has been carefully prepared, and though it remains raw, it is sustenance, the essence of life itself. The group moves steadily forward, each member carrying their share of the spoils, each step purposeful and practiced. There is no haste, no rush. In this world, survival is a steady, ongoing rhythm. The path ahead is familiar, the trail worn down by countless footsteps, yet every time you walk it, it feels new. The land is constantly shifting, the forest growing denser in some places, thinner in others. The trees around you sway in the breeze, their thick trunks rising high above, the leaves rustling softly as though they're whispering ancient secrets. The air is thick with the scent of pine, of moss, of the damp earth beneath your feet. As the group walks, the forest seems to close in around you, its towering trees creating a canopy that shields you from the sun's harsh gaze, filtering the light into soft dappled patterns on the ground. Your footfalls are quiet but deliberate. You move in rhythm with the others, your body instinctively following the natural flow of the terrain. There are no modern tools here, no paved roads, no machinery, no synthetic distractions. The only tools you have are those made by your own hands, stones sharpened over time, bones and sinew that have been crafted with purpose. They are extensions of yourself, as much a part of your survival as the very breath in your lungs. The deeper you move into the forest, the more isolated you feel. There is no sound but the wind in the trees, the soft crunch of leaves beneath your feet, and the distant call of birds or animals in the underbrush. The forest, despite its vastness, feels intimate. You know it. You know its rhythms, its dangers, its offerings. It is an endless source of sustenance and at times a source of peril. Each step is measured, each decision deliberate. This world is not forgiving of mistakes. As you continue your journey, the air changes again. It's cooler now, a slight drop in temperature as the sun rises higher and begins to burn away the last remnants of the night's chill. The land begins to change too. The trees give way to a slightly more open area where the ground is softer, wetter. You feel the shift beneath your feet, the spongy moss and soft soil that makes each step a little heavier, a little slower. The scent of fresh water hangs in the air now as you approach a small stream. The sound of rushing water fills your ears, soothing, constant. The stream cuts through the land like a vein, its water cold and clear, winding its way through the forest, shaping the earth around it. You kneel by the bank, dipping your hands into the water, feeling the cold rush against your skin. The water is refreshing, invigorating, its coolness stark against the warmth that's beginning to settle in the air. You take a moment, allowing the stillness of the forest to settle over you, allowing your mind to calm, to focus. The group gathers around the stream, some of them dipping their hands into the water, others taking a moment to rest. The hunt was successful, but it is not yet over. There are more things to be done, more tasks to complete. The fire will need to be built again, the meat prepared, the bones processed. The cycle of survival continues, and though it can feel relentless, it is also deeply satisfying. There's no room for excess here. Everything has a purpose, and every action is essential. The sun is higher now, its rays filtering through the trees, casting long, sharp shadows on the ground. The light dances across the leaves, shifting with the breeze. You take in the scene, your companions resting, the sound of the stream filling the air, the scent of the earth, and you realize how much you've come to rely on these rhythms. There is an ancient wisdom in them, a knowledge passed down through generations, one that connects you to the earth, to the land, to the world around you. But the stillness doesn't last long. The moment of calm gives way to the need to move again, to gather what you need, to continue the work that ensures survival. You rise from the stream, your feet wet but refreshed. The group begins to gather their things, ready to set off once more, back into the heart of the forest. As you move away from the stream, the terrain shifts again, and with it the soundscape changes. The birds become more distant, the rustling of the leaves in the trees less pronounced. There is a shift in the air, a subtle change that signals a new phase of the journey. The trees begin to thin, and the underbrush becomes denser, thicker, the kind of foliage that catches at your clothes and slows your progress. In this environment, every step is measured. The air smells slightly different here, tinged with the sharpness of wild herbs, the rich musk of decaying leaves. The earth is firmer, but still soft, the thick blanket of moss providing a cushion beneath your feet. The forest floor is dotted with rocks and roots, and you must be careful not to trip. There's no path, no clear route. The land is wild, untamed, yet it feels familiar, as though you've walked this way before, as though the earth itself is guiding you. Your eyes scan the surroundings. The world is alive, moving around you, an endless dance of plants, animals, and the quiet hum of the natural world. The hunt is not over, but it's different now. The focus shifts. The hunt was successful, but the work continues. It's not just about food anymore. It's about the land, about survival, about the cycles that have been in motion for millennia. You move forward, slowly but steadily, always aware of the changes in the world around you, always connected to the rhythms of the earth. As you walk, you notice the way the light shifts through the trees, the way the shadows grow longer, stretching across the ground. The forest seems to hold its breath, the creatures within it moving in their own patterns. The day progresses, but time doesn't seem to matter. Here, in this world, time is a fluid concept, one that moves in harmony with nature's rhythms, with the hunt, with the need to gather and sustain. The deeper you move, the more alive the forest feels. There are sounds in the distance, faint rustlings, the occasional crack of a branch, the call of an animal in the trees. The forest is full of life, but it is also full of silence. The kind of silence that comes when you are attuned to the world around you, when every movement and sound becomes part of the same steady rhythm. The forest is not just a backdrop for survival. It is survival itself. It is the very essence of existence. With every step you feel more in tune with it, the rhythm of the earth, the pulse of the wild. You are part of this world, as much as the trees and the animals, as much as the very air you breathe. The forest moves with you, its sounds and scents and sights all contributing to the rhythm of life. The dense underbrush begins to thin, and you feel a shift in the landscape as the trees open up to reveal a small valley ahead. The sunlight filters through the canopy, casting dappled patterns on the soft moss-covered ground. The valley is lush and green, teeming with the life of plants and animals. It is a place where the forest breathes, where water runs freely, and where nature is in its fullest expression. The air here is thick with moisture, the scent of damp leaves, wildflowers, and the earthy richness of the soil. You pause at the edge of the valley, your senses alert to every movement around you. The sound of the stream from earlier is louder now, rushing over rocks, its clear water shimmering in the sunlight. Birds flit through the trees, their songs piercing the quiet, while the occasional rustle in the tall grass signals the movement of small creatures. The world around you is alive, a cacophony of sounds and smells that blend into a rhythm, a heartbeat that seems to match your own. Your group moves forward, crossing the valley with steady, purposeful steps. The ground is soft beneath your feet, the moss giving way to small flowers that bloom in the shade, their colours vibrant against the green. The air feels different here, fresher, almost electric with life. The warmth of the day presses against your skin, but the coolness of the valley floor is a welcome relief. You breathe in deeply, letting the fresh, earthy scent fill your lungs, feeling the pulse of the earth beneath you. As you move further into the valley, the land shifts once again, this time to a more rugged terrain. The ground is uneven, dotted with large stones and outcroppings of rock that rise from the earth like ancient sentinels. The trees here are older, their trunks thick and gnarled, their branches reaching high into the sky, blocking out much of the sunlight. The air is cooler here, the shadows deep, but it's a place of quiet strength. The wind shifts, and you catch the faintest scent of something unfamiliar. It's not the usual smell of earth and leaves. It's sharper, a little bitter, like something you've never encountered before. You signal to the group and they fall into line behind you, their movements as synchronized as the beating of your heart. The moment feels charged, alive with potential. There is something here, something just beyond reach. The air hums with it. You continue walking, your eyes scanning the land before you. The rocks beneath your feet are jagged, uneven, but you step carefully, your senses heightened, every movement deliberate. As you move deeper into this strange, rugged terrain, you feel an increasing tension, a sense of something watching, something waiting. The forest is full of life, but there's an edge to the air now, a stillness that feels both inviting and unsettling. Then, ahead, you spot it. A figure moving between the trees. It's large, taller than anything you've seen before. It's too far to tell clearly, but the shape is unmistakable. It's a creature of the forest, one that roams these lands, elusive and powerful. Your breath catches in your throat, your heartbeat quickening as you follow its movement with your eyes. The creature moves silently, its massive frame slipping between the shadows, its fur blending with the forest around it. It's too far away for a clear shot, too quick to capture easily. Yet there's no panic, no rush. You and the group are ready. This moment, like so many others before it, is part of the cycle, a dance between the hunter and the hunted. The figure pauses, its head turning slowly, as though it senses the presence of the group. The forest goes still for a moment, the rustling of leaves and the calls of birds fading into the background. The creature's eyes seem to catch yours for a brief moment, and in that gaze you feel a silent challenge, a test. The air between you is thick with the weight of this encounter. It knows you're here just as you know it's there. Without warning, it moves again, faster than you can react, slipping deeper into the shadows of the trees. You signal to your group, and without a word they move into action, following the trail the creature has left behind. The pursuit begins, but this time it is different. The world around you seems to quiet, to sharpen. Every sound is amplified. The crunch of leaves beneath your feet, the sharp crack of a branch breaking as someone pushes through the underbrush. Your breath is steady, your movements controlled, but the tension in the air is palpable. The chase is on. You follow the creature's path through the forest, your senses razor sharp, your mind focused entirely on the trail ahead. The trees are thick here, the underbrush dense, but you move through it with practiced ease. Your eyes are fixed ahead, watching for any sign, any movement that will give away the creature's position. The ground is uneven, with rocks and roots jutting out in all directions, but you navigate it with skill, each step calculated, each movement precise. The forest around you feels alive, teeming with energy, as though the very earth beneath your feet is pulsing with life. The air smells of fresh pine and wet earth, a sharp, invigorating scent that fills your lungs with every breath. The soft rustle of leaves, the occasional snap of a twig, the faint call of a bird, all of it adds to the tension of the hunt. It's a world full of movement, full of potential, full of danger. Ahead, you spot the creature again. It's moving fast, its form dark against the shadows of the trees. It's close now, but still out of reach. You increase your pace, urging your group to move faster, to close the gap. The forest is no longer just a backdrop to the hunt. It has become part of the chase itself, its rhythm and pulse mirroring your own. Every step you take, every breath you draw is in time with the land, with the hunt. The gap closes quickly now, the creature's movements becoming more frantic as it senses the pursuit growing nearer. It bursts through the underbrush, its powerful legs propelling it forward with incredible speed. But there is no panic in your movements. You are steady. You are focused. You move with purpose, your instincts guiding you, your body tuned to the land. And then, in a moment of stillness, the creature pauses again, its massive form frozen in place for just a second. This is the moment, the one you've been waiting for. Without a word you move, your body acting on instinct as you step forward, your hand reaching for the tool at your side, your focus narrowing to a single point, the target, the challenge. In that instant, everything shifts. Time slows, and for a heartbeat, the world seems to hold its breath. Your eyes lock with the creatures once more, and the tension between predator and prey is electric. The moment of truth is upon you. You move swiftly, your body reacting before your mind has a chance to catch up. The stone tool in your hand is an extension of yourself, sharp, quick, and deadly. The forest seems to fade away, the noise of the world silenced in that singular moment. The animal, in a final burst of energy, tries to escape, but it's too late. The hunt ends in a flurry of movement, and the creature is brought down. The forest seems to exhale, the air settling back into its natural rhythm. There is no triumph, no cheer. There is only the satisfaction of survival, the acknowledgement that you have succeeded in this moment, this challenge, and that the cycle of life continues. The group gathers around, moving with purpose as they begin to process the animal. The same rhythmic actions take place as before, each member of the group knowing their role, their task. The creature, now brought to the ground, will be stripped of its useful parts, its meat, its hide, its bones, all parts that will sustain the group, that will allow them to continue surviving in this ever-changing world. The hunt is over, but the work continues. There is no finality here, no sense of completion. Survival is an ongoing process, a cycle that never ends. The forest, though momentarily still, continues to pulse with life, and you too continue to move with it. The air grows thick with the scent of the hunt as the group moves efficiently, each person performing their role with practiced skill. The sounds of the forest return slowly. The whispering leaves, the calls of distant birds, the soft scurrying of small creatures in the underbrush. It's as if the forest itself has taken a breath and resumed its natural rhythm after the brief tension of the chase. The energy is palpable, crackling in the air, as the group works quickly to break down the animal, preserving its meat, bones, and fur. Your hands are steady as you help with the task, the rough edges of the stone tool biting into the animal's hide. The scent of blood fills the air, rich and metallic, mingling with the sharp, earthy fragrance of the forest. You can feel the heat from the kill, the warmth still radiating from the body, a reminder of how close the chase had been. It was swift, calculated, and yet in a way, it felt almost natural, like this was simply the way of the world, the way of life. The meat is divided evenly, and your hands work quickly, carving through sinew and bone. There is no excess here, no waste. Every part of the animal has its place. The bones are set aside for tools or for the marrow they contain. The hide will be worked into something useful, a shelter, a garment, something that will aid in the continued survival of the group. The meat will be cooked, though the process will be raw, simple. The fire will be stoked again, and for a while, the quiet hum of activity will fill the space between the trees. As the last of the meat is secured, you step back for a moment, wiping your hands on the damp earth. The sense of completion, while fleeting, is satisfying. Survival is never truly a victory, just another step in the ongoing dance of life. The forest offers its bounty, but it asks for something in return. Every animal taken, every tree that provides shelter or food demands respect. The cycle continues, an endless loop of give and take, and here, in this moment, you can feel that balance, how the forest gives, how the earth provides, how every act is part of something larger, something eternal. The fire crackles once again, its flames dancing in the cool morning air. The group gathers around it, sitting in silence for a few moments, catching their breath. The hunt is done, and now there is time to rest, to reflect. The warmth of the fire feels good against your skin, the heat slowly drying the sweat on your brow. The sound of the crackling wood fills the space, a comforting rhythm that calms the mind. You reach for a piece of the meat, the raw texture rough in your mouth but full of flavour. The taste of it is earthy, rich, a reminder of how connected you are to the land, to the animal that gave its life for the group's survival. Every bite is meaningful, every moment of this meal a reflection of the work that went into it. There are no distractions here, no luxuries, just the rawness of survival, the simplicity of food, and the satisfaction of knowing that, for today at least, you will eat. Around the fire, the group eats quietly, each person lost in their thoughts. The firelight dances on their faces, casting shadows and highlights, bringing out the lines and textures of their skin. They are tired, but there is no sense of exhaustion. There is only the quiet sense of being, of living, of having succeeded in this moment. Survival, after all, is never guaranteed. It is earned in every step, in every decision, in every breath. And for today, you have earned it. The forest continues to hum around you, alive with the sounds of the day. The sun has climbed higher, and the warmth begins to settle over the land, slowly pushing back the chill of the early morning. The trees sway gently, their leaves rustling softly in the wind. The air smells of fresh growth, of the earth coming alive. Every movement in the forest feels intentional, as though each leaf, each branch, each creature is moving with purpose, guided by the same force that moves through you. You finish your meal and sit back, your hands resting on your knees. The fire, now reduced to embers, crackles gently, the last of its heat rising in wisps of smoke. The group begins to gather their things, ready to move on. There's always more work to be done, more tasks to complete, more land to traverse. The journey is never truly over. But for now, there is rest. There is a brief moment to reflect, to feel the connection to the earth, to the hunt, to the land that has provided for you. The sound of footsteps breaks the silence, and you turn to see one of the group members walking toward the edge of the clearing. They move with purpose, their eyes scanning the horizon. They've spotted something just beyond the trees, something that will shape the next part of the journey. Without a word, they signal to the rest of the group, and the pace shifts. It's time to move again. The rhythm of survival continues as it always does. The forest around you shifts with you, each step taken in harmony with the land, each moment unfolding as part of the larger cycle. There is no rush, there is no hurry. Everything moves in its own time at its own pace. And so you rise to your feet, your muscles still heavy with the work of the hunt, but your mind sharp, your body alert. The day is not yet done. The forest awaits, and you are ready. The ground beneath your feet grows firmer as you move through the forest, each step calculated, each movement purposeful. The trees around you rise taller, their trunks thick and weathered, their roots sprawling deep into the earth like the very veins of the land. The air is cooler now, the warmth of the day slowly being replaced by the fresh crispness of the approaching evening. You can feel the change in the air, the subtle shift from day to night, from light to shadow. The forest feels more alive now, the creatures stirring as the daylight fades, their movements quicker, more deliberate. The group is quiet as they move, the sounds of footsteps muffled by the thick carpet of fallen leaves and moss beneath them. Each person seems to know their role, their place in this ongoing journey. There is no need for words. The silence between them speaks volumes, a shared understanding that binds them together, that connects them to the world around them. Ahead, the path grows narrower, the trees closing in on either side, their branches reaching toward each other, forming a natural arch. The air feels thicker here, more alive, as though the very forest is holding its breath. You can hear the faint rustling of leaves in the distance, the occasional snap of a branch underfoot. The forest is never truly silent. It hums with life, with movement, with energy. The ground shifts again, the moss giving way to harder earth, and you feel the change beneath you, the rhythm of the land shifting as the journey continues. The scent of pine and damp earth is strong here, filling your nostrils with its rich, earthy fragrance. There's a slight crispness to the air now, as though a storm is on the horizon. The wind picks up slightly, rustling the leaves above you, and you feel the coolness brush against your skin. You pause for a moment, listening to the forest. The sounds are familiar, but they've changed, sharpened perhaps with the coming of the evening. The calls of birds are more distant now, replaced by the soft calls of nocturnal creatures, the rustle of animals moving through the underbrush preparing for the night ahead. The air feels charged, filled with anticipation. The group moves forward, their steps slow but steady. You can hear the faintest sound of breath, the soft inhale and exhale of those around you. There's no sense of urgency. This isn't a race. It's a journey, one that has no end, only the next step, the next challenge. The path opens up ahead, revealing a small, secluded clearing. The trees here are older, their trunks twisted and gnarled, their roots thick and tangled, reaching deep into the earth. The clearing is bathed in soft, dappled light, the sun filtering through the thick canopy above. You step into the open space, the air feeling fresher, cleaner here. The grass is thick underfoot, soft against your feet, and you can feel the warmth of the sun on your face, the light gentle on your skin. For a moment everything is still. The group gathers silently in the clearing, each person taking a moment to rest, to collect themselves. The sounds of the forest seem to fade into the background, leaving only the steady rhythm of your breath, the soft pulse of life around you. There's a quiet sense of peace here, a momentary reprieve from the constant motion, from the cycle of survival. You sit down, your body aching slightly from the journey, the muscles in your legs tight from the long trek. The air is still, the world around you alive but muted. The trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves whispering in the wind. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with the scent of the forest, earthy, fresh, alive. There is no rush. There is only this moment, this quiet time in the midst of the world's endless motion. The group begins to unpack, each person moving with quiet efficiency. The hunt is done for now, but there are still tasks to be completed. The meat is divided and carefully preserved, the bones set aside for tools or future use. The fire is built once again, its flames licking the air, casting soft light across the clearing. The smell of burning wood mixes with the earthy scent of the forest, creating a rich, comforting aroma that fills the space. As the fire grows, so does the warmth, and with it, a sense of calm. The tension of the hunt, the focus of the journey, begins to ease, replaced by the familiar rhythm of the group working together. The night is still young, but there's a sense that, for now, everything is as it should be. The fire crackles softly, its warmth spreading, and the group gathers around it, drawn by the light and the heat. The meat is cooked, though simply, raw, primal. There is no spice, no seasoning, just the essence of the land, the flavour of survival. You sit back, watching the flames dance in front of you. The warmth on your skin feels good, a contrast to the cool air that now settles in around the clearing. The group eats in silence, each person savouring the simple meal, grateful for the sustenance that the land has provided. The sounds of chewing, of soft conversation fill the air, but they are muted, as though the world is holding its breath, waiting for the next movement. The firelight casts long, shifting shadows across the ground, and you watch them move with the wind, as though the shadows themselves are alive. The trees around you seem to lean in, their branches reaching toward the fire, their leaves shimmering in the light. The forest is a living, breathing entity, and you are a part of it. The night is its domain, and in this moment it feels as if the forest has embraced you, as if it has welcomed you into its depths. The crackling of the fire is a comforting sound, one that has accompanied your people for generations. It is a signal, a reminder of the bond between you and the land. The fire has always been a part of survival, even if it is still raw, uncontrolled at this point in history. There is no mastery over it, only a simple reliance on its warmth, its light. It provides what is necessary to continue, but it is still untamed, still unpredictable. And in this wild, untamed world, there is something freeing about that. The fire does not need to be controlled. It does not need to be tamed. It simply is. The same could be said of the forest, for the hunt, for life itself. The world is untamed, and in its rawness, it is both dangerous and beautiful. As the fire begins to settle, its glow dimming slightly, the group begins to wind down. The tasks of the day are complete. There is no rush, no urgency. Tomorrow will come, as it always does, but for now, there is peace. There is a moment of quiet that stretches between breaths, between thoughts, as the forest slowly settles into the stillness of night. The air is cool now, the shadows longer, and the soft sounds of the night creatures begin to rise again. The fire has long since burned down to embers, the faint glow of its last flickers casting a soft warmth into the cool night air. The forest around you is calm, its usual hum of life now quieted, the creatures that roam the night slipping into their own peaceful rhythms. The wind is soft now, a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves above, carrying with it the earthy scent of the forest, damp, fresh, and alive with the memory of the day. You sit still, the coolness of the earth beneath you grounding you, your muscles relaxed after the work of the day. The sounds of the forest are distant now, almost like a lullaby, as the night slowly wraps itself around the clearing. The stars are out, scattered across the sky, their light soft and steady, as though they too are taking their rest. The crackle of the fire has faded, replaced by the comforting silence of the forest settling into its nocturnal rhythm. There is no rush, there is no need to hurry. Time here flows differently. It is slower, more deliberate, like the shifting of the seasons. Every breath you take seems to deepen, becoming slower, softer, as though the very air around you is inviting you to relax, to let go, to drift. The group, now lying beneath the soft cover of the trees, has quieted. Each person in their own space is resting. The fire, now little more than glowing embers, casts a faint warmth, but the chill of the night begins to creep in, settling over the land, bringing a coolness that is somehow soothing, like the softest touch. The air feels lighter now, the quiet more pronounced, and you are surrounded by the gentle pulse of the life that continues on, even in the stillness. You close your eyes, allowing the world to fade around you, feeling the comforting embrace of the earth beneath you. The weight of your body against the ground seems to melt away as you relax further, the tension that has been carried through the day slowly unwinding, dissolving with every exhale. Each breath you take is slower, deeper, a steady rhythm that matches the calm around you. The quiet of the night feels vast, like a deep ocean, and you are drifting, weightless, gently sinking deeper into its embrace. The faint whispers of the wind are like a soft lullaby, soothing and calming. They carry with them the scents of the earth, pine, moss, wet leaves, blending into a rich, comforting aroma that fills your senses. The world outside fades, becoming more distant with each passing moment, until the only thing that remains is the feeling of being completely at peace, at rest with the land and with yourself. The stars overhead seem closer now, their light soft and steady, like a blanket of warmth wrapped around you. You feel the weight of the day lift, each layer of your thoughts and concerns dissolving into the quiet, the stillness, the gentle embrace of sleep that is slowly but surely pulling you under. There is no need for action, no need to worry about what comes next. The rhythm of life will continue as it always does, but for now you're free of it, drifting into the silence of the night. The world has become a soft blur, the sounds of the forest fading into the background like a distant dream. The crackle of the fire, the rustle of the trees, the occasional breath of wind, they all blend together in a peaceful symphony that guides you further into rest. The warmth of the fire has all but disappeared, leaving only the cool, gentle air to envelop you, bringing a calm that sinks deep into your bones. You feel your body relax even further, each muscle softening, each breath slower, deeper. The tension of the day is gone now, replaced by the quiet peace of the night. The sky above is infinite, and for the first time in a long while, you feel small, yet part of something much larger, much more eternal. You're not just resting, you're becoming one with the earth beneath you, the air around you, the rhythm of the forest that moves quietly and unhurried, just as you are now. As you drift deeper into rest, the world outside becomes even softer, more distant. The stars above flicker in the cool night air, their light steady, like a beacon guiding you gently into sleep. The silence of the forest is now a comfort, a reminder that everything is as it should be. The rhythmic sounds of the night creatures, the whisper of the wind through the trees, and the occasional crackle from the embers, they all fade into a background hum, a steady lullaby that guides you deeper into slumber. Each breath becomes slower, more deliberate, until the very air around you feels like it is wrapping you in a warm embrace, pulling you into a deeper, quieter place. The earth beneath you feels solid and comforting, a reminder that you are grounded, safe, and secure. The weight of the day has lifted completely, leaving only the sensation of drifting in a world that is both vast and infinite, yet somehow entirely at peace. The forest around you is still now, the night fully settling in. The soft rustle of leaves, the faint calls of distant creatures, all of it seems to echo in the distance like a fading memory. There is nothing more to do now but rest. There is no tomorrow here, no need to think of the next task or the next challenge. All of it can wait. For now there is only the peace of the night, the silence and the comforting rhythm of your own breath as you slip deeper into sleep. As you drift, the world becomes even softer, the sounds, the sights, the very air around you dissolving into the deep, welcoming stillness of sleep. You are weightless now, free from the constraints of the waking world, floating in the quiet, in the calm, in the embrace of the earth that holds you. The soft light of the stars above, the quiet hum of the forest, and the steady rhythm of your own breath are the last things you feel as you slip into the darkness, into rest, into a deep, peaceful sleep.